Okay, it says that I'm live, so I'm gonna trust it. Let me just check on my phone just to make sure. Just because I'm like not good with technology, and so I just kind of never trust that it's actually saying the right things. It's just a problem. So let me just check to make sure we're live. We're good to go. Okay. Hey, I'm Dottie, and welcome back to my channel. This is Dottie's World, and I'm really excited to be back. My last stream about tomatoes went, I think, really well. My computer worked fine. The live streaming worked great, and yeah, I'm really excited. So today is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to you all. If you have a Valentine, that's wonderful. If you're single, then enjoy being your own Valentine, or maybe your pet is your Valentine. Who knows? But it's February 14th, 2020. And so today I'm going to be talking about zucchini. And I'll be sharing, I'm sitting in like my apartment garden area today. Hey, Christopher Millington is here. Hello. Yay, I've got a live viewer. How fun. So yeah, I'm just sitting in my apartment garden today, and after I read about zucchini, I'll give you guys a little tour of like what I've got growing here so you can kind of see what I'm doing, and maybe you can do something similar. So yeah, that's really it. I think we're just gonna get right into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and screen share, and we're going to do this and that, and here we go. Let me just make sure that it is up here. It is perfect. Yay. It's just so wonderful when you find a something that works for you. I was not live streaming for I think about 6 months because I just didn't know what program to use. And, then I found StreamYard, which is unbelievably simple. And so it's so great when you really want to do something and then you find something that actually helps you do that very easily. 'Cause I'm learning a lot about technology, but it's just not what it's not something that I'm good at. But I'm learning, so it's all good. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. You can read along with me if you want, or just have it on in the background. And I hope you enjoy learning about zucchini today. So the zucchini, or courgette, is a summer squash of Mesoamerican origin, which can reach nearly 1 meter or 39 inches in length, but it is usually harvested when still immature at about 15 to 25 centimeters or 6 to 10 inches. A zucchini is a thin-skinned cultivar of what in Britain and Ireland is referred to as a marrow. In South Africa, a zucchini is known as a baby marrow. That's going back to what they're saying, harvesting it when they're about 15 to 25 centimeters. I am really excited to try a zucchini, like the baby marrows, this year when I start planting, because zucchini if you let them go, those things will get to just massive squash. They get so big, but I really like them when they're like about that big or so. Just because they're still tender and they're really easy to cut and they're really easy to deal with when they're small like that. But if you're going to be harvesting seeds out of a zucchini, it's actually better to let it grow really big, because then you'll get a lot of seeds, and it just works a lot better for when you're going to be harvesting seeds. But along with certain other squashes and pumpkins, the zucchini belongs to the species Cucurbita pepo. One of these days I'm going to get that Latin down. It can be dark or light green. A related hybrid, the golden zucchini, is a deep yellow or orange color. Oh yeah, and I actually wanted to show you guys. So I've got a couple seed packets here. So this is just regular zucchini, just green zucchini, and that is a seed packet for that. And then this is the yellow variety of it. So those are both basically the same thing. It's just one is yellow and one is green, but I use them both the same way when I'm cooking. Basically, like I'll put them both in breakfast stuff or chilies or whatever. They're very mild thing to eat, and so they mix really well with a lot of things. But yeah, so that's the yellow squash variety. So I'm going to be getting some of those started probably this week, I think, because I'll be able to plant them if I let them grow through the rest of February and then through March. Probably by April, I should be able to plant those in ground. So really excited for those this year. In a culinary context, the zucchini is treated as a vegetable. It is usually cooked and presented as a savory dish or accompaniment. Botanically, though, zucchinis are fruits and a type of botanical berry called a pepo, being the swollen ovary of the zucchini flower. Yeah, I found that out last week when I was talking about tomatoes, that tomatoes are considered a fruit or berry as well. And it's actually, it's all the plants that it will grow a flower, and then the flower, you'll see a little fruit producing at the bottom of the flower. Those are all considered fruits. And so something that grows directly in the ground, like a carrot or a radish or, you know, other root vegetables, those are considered vegetables. And it's just all about how they grow on the plant. And so that was kind of a like mind-blowing thing to me to learn that most of the things that I consider vegetables, they're actually technically a fruit, but we call it a vegetable because of the way that we cook with it. And so it's really interesting. The zucchini, like all squash, originates in the Americas, specifically Mesoamerica. Zucchini itself was developed in northern Italy in the second half of the 19th century, long after the introduction of cucurbits from the Americas in the early 16th century. I read through this already to see what parts are interesting and what parts are not. Most of it is just interesting to me, so I'm just going to keep reading. Zucchini is the plural of zucchino, a diminutive of zucca, Italian for pumpkin or squash. Zucchino, the masculine form, is attested earlier, but the feminine form zucchina is also found. The Accademia della Crusca prefers the masculine form, and the Treccani prefers the feminine, considering the masculine a Tuscan dialect. The plurals are zucchini and zucchine. It's interesting. That's interesting that, you know, here in America, we would call it zucchini or zucchinis, but it's funny how different cultures have different languages or different ways that they pronounce stuff. English is such a strange language. And okay, pretty much already read about that. The name courgette is a French loan word, the diminutive of courge, or gourd and marrow, and is commonly used in France, Belgium, and other Francophone areas, as well as in the United Kingdom, Ireland, New Zealand, the Netherlands, Malaysia, Singapore, and South Africa. In the United Kingdom, Ireland, New Zealand, Malaysia, Singapore, a fully grown, matured courgette is referred to as a marrow. Most marrow cultivars sold in the U.S. are striped. In South Africa, the fruit is typically harvested as a baby vegetable, approximately finger size, and is referred to as baby marrows. So yeah, that's what I'm really excited to try this year, is when they're baby marrows. So. the flower of the zucchini. I'll show you the picture real quick. Really pretty, and see how, so here's the flower, and then here's the zucchini growing right there. So pretty cool, pretty cool. The female flower is a golden blossom on the end of each emergent zucchini. The male flower grows directly on the stem of the zucchini plant in the leaf axils, where leaf petiole meets stem, on a long stalk, and is slightly smaller than the female. Both flowers are edible and are often used to dress a meal or to garnish cooked fruit. Really excited to try the flowers too. Like that's so cool to me that so many flowers are actually edible. I'm going to be doing probably fruits and vegetables for a while. I'm just going through my packs of seeds that I have and just kind of talking about those. But one of the seeds that I do want to talk about is a flower called nasturtium, and that's another edible flower and super good for the pollinators and all that. And so, but I mean, how fun would your breakfast be, or like a pretty cake or something with edible flowers on top? I mean, how fun! I love it. The firm and fresh blossoms that are only slightly open are cooked to be eaten, with pistils removed from female flowers and stamens removed from males. The stems of the flower can be retained as a way of giving the cook something to hold on to during cooking, rather than injuring the delicate petals, or they can be removed prior to cooking or prior to serving. There are a variety of recipes in which the flowers may be deep fried as fritters or tempura after dipping in a light tempura batter, stuffed, sautéed, baked, or used in soups. That sounds amazing. A deep fried flower. Whew, boy, I try not to eat a lot of fried stuff, but I might have to get like an air fryer for that, because that sounds so good. So good. Zucchini, like all squash, has its ancestry in the Americas, specifically Mesoamerica. However, the varieties of green cylindrical squash harvested immature and typically called zucchini were cultivated in northern Italy, as much as 3 centuries after the introduction of cucurbits from the Americas. It appears that this occurred in the second half of the 19th century, although the first description of the variety under the name zucchini occurs in a work published in Milan in 1901. Early varieties usually appended the names of nearby cities in their names. The first records of zucchini in the United States date to the early 1920s. It was almost certainly taken to America by Italian immigrants and probably was first cultivated in the United States in California. A 1928 report on vegetables grown in New York State treats zucchini as one among 60 cultivated varieties of pepo. That's pretty cool. So cool how many varieties of plants there are. It just like blows my mind. And so now, how do we cook a zucchini? What do we do with it? We've got this wonderful zucchini, and so now, what can we do with it? So when used for food, zucchini are usually picked when under 20 centimeters in length, when the seeds are still soft and immature. Oh, that's another thing why you would let your zucchini grow really big is the seeds get bigger and they get a lot harder, and so then you would scrape out all the seeds and put them in a jar of water for 2 days, and then rinse them off in like a little strainer, and then dry them off. And then once they're dry, you can put them into a little pack, and then you have, oops, this one is trying to open. Oh, actually, I can show you one of the seeds if my pack will open. Of course, it's going to be difficult now I'm trying to do it. So that's a zucchini seed. It's a pretty big seed. I don't think I have any other seeds nearby. No. But yeah, it's a pretty big seed, and it grows into a really big plant. But But yeah, if you let one of your zucchinis grow really big, then you can harvest the seeds from it. And so yeah, you just rinse them off and let them dry off and put them in a pack. And I like to mark the pack of what it is and the date and year that I saved it. But that is just me. Okay, where did it go? I lost myself here. Okay, the larger ones are often fibrous, which means they're a lot tougher to eat, and they're just not as soft as when they're small. Probably the baby zucchinis, actually, those are probably really good pickled. I can imagine that would be just really delicious. I love a good dill pickle, so a pickled zucchini sounds amazing, actually. A zucchini with the flowers attached is a sign of a truly fresh and immature fruit, and it is especially sought after for its sweeter flavor. Unlike cucumbers, zucchini is usually served cooked. It can be prepared using a variety of cooking techniques, including steamed, boiled, grilled, stuffed, and baked, barbecued, fried, or incorporated in other recipes such as soufflés. Zucchini can also be baked into a bread, similar to banana bread, or incorporated into a cake mix similar to carrot cake. Its flowers can be eaten stuffed and are a delicacy when deep fried as tempura. Zucchini has a delicate flavor and requires little more than quick cooking with butter or olive oil, with or without fresh herbs. The skin is left in place. Quick cooking a barely wet zucchini in oil or butter allows the fruit to partially boil and steam. When the juice is concentrated in the final moments of frying, with the juices concentrated in the final moments of frying when the water has gone, prior to serving. Zucchini can also be eaten raw, sliced, or shredded in a cold salad, as well as slightly cooked in hot salads, as in Thai or Vietnamese recipes. Mature or larger sized zucchinis are well suited for cooking in breads. Zucchini can be cut with a spiralizer to make zucchini noodles that act as a spaghetti substitute for low carbohydrate recipes. That's probably my favorite way to eat zucchini. I have this little gadget that you just like attach the top to the zucchini, and then you just like turn it, and it spits out these noodle spirals. And so I have found, though, that if you only do zucchini or squash pasta, it's not very filling. And so, I mean, you can eat a lot more of it, but what I do is I will just if I'm going to do pasta, I'll do half pasta and half zucchini, because then you get vegetables, but the pasta will fill you up a little bit more. But that's one of my favorite ways to eat zucchini, is as a pasta, because it really does make good noodles, and it cooks super quick. I think it only takes, when it's a pasta, I will boil my pasta, that's about 10 minutes, but I think I put the zucchini in for the last, I mean, honestly, like maybe 4 minutes max. It's a very soft fruit, and it just doesn't take very long to cook. You pretty much are just like heating it up at that point. But yeah, it's super good as pasta. And in Bulgaria, zucchini may be fried and then served with a dip made from yogurt, garlic, and dill. That sounds good. I'm so hungry right now. I went to the gym a little bit ago, and I had a protein shake after, but I'm really hungry. I want like a big hearty breakfast. So now, like, reading about food, and I'm just like, oh my God, I want to eat all this. Another popular dish is oven-baked zucchini, sliced or grated, covered with a mixture of eggs, yogurt, flour, and dill. Yeah, you can make zucchini boats, and so I think that people I haven't done these yet, but I've seen them a lot, and I really want to try them. But so you slice them in half, and then you just stuff it with whatever you want. I think you probably you use a spoon and scrape out the seeds, and then that'll make like a little hollow boat kind of thing for your zucchini, and then you can stuff it with whatever you want. You know, if you eat meat, or if you eat cheese, you can put other veggies, like whatever you want to put in it. You could even do zucchini boat like pizzas, you know, so whatever kind of pizza toppings you want, just throw that in your zucchini boat and then bake it for a few minutes, and I bet that's probably amazing. All the pictures I've seen, this is grilled zucchini, which looks awesome. But yeah, all the pictures I've seen of zucchini boats, they always look incredible. So yeah, I definitely need to try out that. In Egypt, zucchini may be cooked with tomato sauce, garlic, and onions. Yep, probably as a pasta, or just like chopped up and put whatever on it with you, whatever you want on it. In France, zucchini is a key ingredient in ratatouille, the stew of summer fruits and vegetables prepared in olive oil and cooked for an extended time over low heat. The dish, originating near present-day Nice, is served as a side dish or on its own at lunch with bread. Zucchini may be stuffed with meat or with other fruits such as tomatoes or bell peppers in a dish called courgette farcie, stuffed zucchini. That sounds awesome. I just love veggies. They're so good. Well, and zucchini's not even a veggie, it's a fruit, which it works even better. I love fruit. Like if there was nothing but fruit on the planet, I could live just fine and be fine with that. I'm a huge grazer when I eat. You know, I love just, you know, bags of grapes and apples, and I really love fruit. So I think I was meant to be in the Garden of Eden with all that wonderful stuff you can just pick and eat right off the plant. That's my dream for my homestead, is to have enough stuff that I can just go out and have breakfast right off the plant anytime I want. That is my huge dream right now. In Greece, zucchini is usually fried or stewed with other fruits, often green chili peppers and eggplants. We'll be doing a stream on eggplants too. I've never grown those, but I do have some seeds, so I'll be doing a stream on those too. It is served as an hors d'oeuvre or as a main dish, especially during fasting seasons. Zucchini is also stuffed with minced meat, rice, and herbs, and served with avgolmano sauce. I don't know what that is. In several parts of Greece, the flowers of the plant are stuffed with white cheese, usually feta or mizithra cheese, or with a mixture of rice, herbs, and occasionally minced meat. They are then deep fried or baked in the oven with tomato sauce. These all sound good. Like I would try any of these dishes. In Italy, zucchini is served in a variety of ways: fried, baked, boiled, or deep fried, alone or in a combination with other ingredients. At home and in some restaurants, it is possible to eat the flowers as well, deep fried, known as flori di zucca, the pumpkin flower fritter. Sounds so fun. In the cuisines of the former Ottoman Empire, zucchini is often stuffed and called dolma. It is also used in various stews, both with and without meat, including ladera. In Mexico, the flower, known as flor de calabaza, is often cooked in, if more words were in Spanish compared to Latin, I would have no problem with that, because I'm not fluent in Spanish, but I took 2 years of Spanish in high school, and so I know how to read it, but most of the time I don't know what it's saying because I'm not fluent in it. But yeah, if words were in Spanish more than Latin, I would not be struggling with some of these words as much. But it's often cooked in soups or used as a filling for quesadillas. Yum. I love quesadillas. Like when I went to Mexico a few years ago, I think my favorite thing about being there was just the fresh pico de gallo and salsa that I got at every restaurant. Like it's just so good and so much better than most store-bought salsas here. And The fruit is used in stews and soups and other preparations. The flower, as well as the fruit, is often eaten through Latin America. In Russia, Ukraine, and other CIS countries, zucchini usually is coated in flour or semolina and then fried or baked in vegetable oil, served with a sour cream. Another popular recipe is zucchini caviar, the squash spread made from thermically processed zucchini, carrots, onions, and tomato paste, produced either homemade or industrial, oh my gosh, industrially. There it is, industrially. So vegetable preserves. In Turkey, zucchini is the main ingredient in the popular dish mukver or zucchini pancakes. Ooh, that sounds good. I've never tried to make zucchini bread or pancakes, but made from shredded zucchini, flour, and eggs, lightly fried in olive oil and eaten with yogurt. They're often used in kebabs along with various meats. The flowers are also used in a cold dish where they're stuffed with a rice mix with with various spices, nuts, and stewed. The stuffed zucchini is found in many cuisines, typically stuffed in the Middle Eastern family of dolma, include rice, onions, tomato, and sometimes meat. Sorry, I gotta just checking my phone. I got a message. I just had to make sure it wasn't anything important, and it's not. Toxicology about zucchini. Members of the plant family Cucurbitaceae, which include zucchini, marrows, pumpkins, and cucumbers, can contain toxins called cucurbitacins. These are steroids which defend the plants from predators and have a bitter taste to humans. Cultivated cucurbitaceae, that is a very hard word, are bred for lower levels of the toxin and are safe to eat. However, ornamental pumpkins can have high levels of cucurbitacins, and such ornamental plants can cross-fertilize edible cucurbitaceae. Any such cross-fertilized seeds used by the gardener for growing food in the following season can therefore potentially produce bitter and toxic fruit. Dry weather or irregular watering can also favor the production of the toxin, which is not destroyed by cooking. Humans with an impaired sense of taste, particularly the elderly, should therefore ask a younger person to taste the zucchini for them. The toxin has caused at least one death of an elderly person in recent years. Investigators warned that gardeners should not save their own seeds, as reversion to forms containing more poisonous cucurbitacin might occur. Zucchini can also be responsible for allergy caused by the presence of a protein, profilin. The sap released when peeling young zucchini also contains a viscous substance which, when drying on the hands, gives the impression of super glue and dry hands. All right, that's pretty interesting. Cultivation. Zucchini is very easy to cultivate in temperate climates. As such, it has a reputation among home gardeners for overwhelming production. That is so true. Zucchini is one of those things that the amount that it produces is mind-blowing. My friend started her garden last year, and she was harvesting, I think, 4 to 6 a day for multiple days, and I think she even had more than she could even use. It's just, they are very, very high production plant, and it's really great, especially if you have a big family or you want to share your homegrown produce with your friends or whatever. It's just such a wonderful, wonderful plant that one plant will grow more than enough for you and more than enough to share with people, and you'll still probably end up getting one gigantic zucchini at least that you can save the seeds from. The part harvested as zucchini is the immature fruit. Although the flowers, mature fruit, and leaves are eaten as well. One good way to control overabundance is to harvest the flowers, which are an expensive delicacy in markets because of the difficulty in storing and transporting them. The male flower is born on the end of a stalk and is longer lived. While easy to grow, zucchini, like all squash, requires plentiful bees for pollination. And if you're growing your zucchini inside, same with tomatoes. I have some tomatoes over here. If you're growing plants inside that needs to be pollinated, you just take a clean paintbrush and you just paint inside the flower and then paint inside, like you do that with all the flower beds basically. And so then that will pollinate all of the flowers for you. So that's if you're growing it inside. If it's outside, it is going to attract bees. If you have flowers, there's no possible way that you won't attract bees with that, and the bees will make your zucchini grow even better. So it's a win-win for everyone. If they need bees for pollination. In areas of pollinator decline or high pesticide use, such as mosquito spray districts, gardeners often experience fruit abortion, where the fruits begin to grow, then dries or rots. This is due to an insufficient number of pollen grains delivered to the female flower. It can be corrected by hand pollination or by increasing the bee population. So that's what I was saying, hand pollination, and then just plant a bunch of flowers in your garden, just random beautiful flowers, and that will also attract bees to your space. So you want to give all the little critters a place to go and stuff to eat. So yeah, planting lots of flowers, you'll get to enjoy how beautiful they are, but you'll be helping the environment and nature by providing a home for these little insects that need food too, because we're all part of the cycle. Closely related to zucchini are Lebanese summer squash, or kusa, not to be confused with kusha, but they often are lighter green or even white. Some seed catalogs do not distinguish them. Various varieties of round zucchinis are grown in different countries under different names, such as Tandi di Piacenza in Italy and Rondinais in France. In the late 1990s, American producers in California cultivated and began marketing round yellow and green zucchini known as 8-ball squash. The yellow ones are sometimes known as 1-ball or gold ball. White zucchini in summer squash is sometimes seen as a mutation and can appear on the same plant as its green counterpart. So here's a zucchini plant growing. Oh, maybe the picture will come up. There it is. So I think the zucchini like a pretty big pot, but this looks like it's doing quite well. If you have it outside in a garden though, it is a very sprawling plant, so it wants to reach out as far as it possibly can, but you can combat that by attaching it to a trellis, and then it will grow vertically, and then your fruits will just hang down off the trellis, and it makes it so much easier to harvest and just to see, so that your plants aren't getting too crazy big. Because I mean, you will literally go and harvest 6 zucchini, and then 2 days later you'll come out and one of them will be 2 feet long, and you're just like, where did this one even come from? Like I didn't even know that one was ready when I was picking the other ones. So it's a very prolific, well-producing plant. And one guy that I follow, he's on YouTube. It's Mi Gardener, and he just put up a video or some pictures on Facebook of of his zucchini plants that he's growing with hydroponics in his apartment, I think, or his house or whatever. Yeah, but he has a ton of hydroponics going, and they just started producing their first little baby zucchinis. So yeah, you can grow them inside easily as well if you have some grow lights and a setup. But I think that is all for Wikipedia. So we're going to stop screen sharing. Get out of this and come back to my stream. And let's see what's going on in the live chat. Christopher Millington says hello, and I'm on my lunch break. Unfortunately, no Valentine's Day for me. Yeah, you know, whatever. It's all good. Like, you can be your own Valentine. Like, you don't, and really, like, Valentine's Day is always a little silly to me because it's like, you should love your partner every day of the year, not just because of a commercial holiday. You know, you should show your partner love and affection every single day that you're with them. So that's just kind of my opinion on Valentine's Day. But you know, it's always good to share love with people. So Chris also says, I hate zucchini. Oh, it's mostly the taste, but also the texture seems a little weird to me as well. But I do love squash and many other vegetables. That's cool. I agree. Sorry, gotta go. Hope you have a wonderful day. Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. That's so nice that you stopped by. I'm really glad that you popped in. That's great. And so now I'm going to, hopefully this doesn't like ruin everything. I'm going to grab my camera and I'm going to give you guys a little tour of my apartment garden here. So I've got this grow light here that I just got at Lowe's. It was like, I don't know, $35, I think. I turned it off because it was really bright, but I've just got that hanging over my tomatoes because my tomato here is getting so gigantic that I had to raise the light. But see, so I've got this tomato that's growing, and then there's two behind it. And then my son wanted to get a raspberry bush, so we've got that, and it's got 2 sprouts on it, so it's doing really well. It's getting quite tall. And so then over here as well, I'm a little tangled in my cord here. I'm gonna have to get it down. Everything is awkward. Sorry if you're getting motion sickness from my nonsense. I just really want to show you my garden. And so this one I'm really excited for. Let me see if you can see it. Yeah. Okay, so this is some lettuce greens that I got from MI Gardener, and I've had them under like a greenhouse kind of container, and they're growing really well. I planted those, I think about 3 weeks ago, and then I'm just growing them under this grow light here. And most of the time I have the greenhouse lid on, but they're getting really tall, and so I wanted to give them some air. But yeah, I'm growing those as microgreens. So I'm going to let them grow for probably another week, maybe 2, let them get a little taller, and then I'll harvest those and eat them in a salad. But if you like don't grow anything at all and you want to grow something, you should really, really grow some microgreens because they're so easy, and it's just a great way to have food growing right here in your apartment. So this one is a pothos. You see it? Yeah. This is a pothos here, and I need to replant it and do a few things with it. It's just kind of like, I don't know, it's just doing whatever it wants, really. Back here I've got another pothos. That one is crushing right now. And then I just repotted. This is a pepper plant, and this one also is a pepper plant. Hopefully you can see it. Yes. Okay, so those are both pepper plants, and I just repotted them, and they're kind of, I don't know, they're in a little bit of shock. Sometimes when you repot a plant, it just shocks it a little bit, and it takes it a minute for it to kind of come back to life and what it's doing and what it needs to do, whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I just have these 2 grow lights, and it's just all a really fun experiment. You know, I really I really recommend that if you're curious about plants at all, just go and get a grow light and go and get a pack of seeds and a bag of soil and a couple pots. You can get pots anywhere. You can use any kind of container, really. I mean, if you have a bunch of those cloth kind of grocery bags, you can fill that with soil and plant in that, and the water will drain out, no problem. It has handles so you can move it. So that's a really great, very inexpensive way to get a lot of containers, because I mean you can get those for $1 at any grocery store. And so yeah, just fill it up with soil and plant some seeds in it and just see where it goes. And so if you're going to do a grow bag like that, I would say probably one zucchini plant per bag, because they do get so big. Um, but yeah, just pop a seed in there, give it some water and give it some light, and see what it does. And as it starts getting bigger, you can, attach it to a little trellis and make it grow vertically. Or I'm about to plant a bunch more stuff in my in-ground garden, and I'm going to get some plants started in here so that I can plant those in April. And yeah, growing food it's a whole big process, but it is really just the best way to get healthy and know exactly where your food is coming from. Because these tomatoes I have here, I'm growing them from seed, and so if they produce, I mean, they're absolutely crushing right now. Like, they're doing so well now that I added in the second light. And so, I mean, it's just going to be so awesome to take this little tiny seed and watch it turn into this wonderful big plant that is producing things that I can eat and I love, because I love tomatoes, which is why my first stream was about tomatoes. And so yeah, I think that's about all that I have for zucchini. Let me just make sure there's no one else in the live chat that I maybe missed. Looks like I got everyone. So yeah, I really appreciate everybody for watching, and please like the video if you like it, and share it if you want, and subscribe to the channel if you feel like it. I'll be doing another plant stream next Friday at 10. This is a really good time for me, and so I'll be continuing. So next Friday, I don't know which, I feel like my webcam is off just slightly, and so I'm like, is my head tilted the wrong way? I don't even know. I don't understand this live streaming. But yeah, so I'll be back next Friday at 10, and I'm not positive what fruit or veggie I'm going to be talking about next week, but if you have one that you really want to learn about, just leave me a comment below and I will absolutely do a stream about it, especially if I have seeds and can show you a pack of it or whatnot. But yeah, I really hope you all enjoyed it, and thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Dottie, and I'm out.